So you've got multiple kids, one of them is on the spectrum, and you need to develop multiple workstations to organize your kids' working timetables. Hi, I'm Farah Danish, your autism family coach. I've got 4 kids. One of them is on the spectrum, the oldest one. It took us a long time to get him into the structure, into this routine of working with his siblings on the same table. He always required one-to-one. And so we did our one-to-one with him. It took a fair amount of training. And we're now, I can safely say, we're now in a place where he can sit with his siblings, share a room, share a space, and work, coexist with them. So today is going to be a very different video. I'm going to just quickly show you how I've organized my space. And yeah, sit back, enjoy, and let me know what you think about it. So each of my kids have their own, well, not each of them. My kids have their own rooms and they have workstations in their rooms. But I realized that that was not working because it was very exhausting for me to go and check on each one of them and to make sure that they're, staying on task, because unfortunately all of them have their own devices and they need to be working with the devices because their homeworks come on their device and they have to use their device to do their homework. You know how that can play out. They can get easily sidetracked. I have to say, Suleiman, my son on the spectrum, is the only one who's very disciplined about this and who will not get sidetracked if he has to finish his homework. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But so for those reasons, I have had to convert my bedroom into a bedroom / workstation space for all of us, not just my kids, including me, because I'm working as well when they're working. So this is my little studio here where I do most of my work from. Yeah. And later on in the day, when the kids are with me, they are working on that station as well. And I have these two. This is what I love. I love this little investment here. These are flap tables. Yep. You see that? Yeah. You can set them up and you can then drop them when you're done. So it saves a ton of space. And there you go. I've got 2 of them. So 1, 2, I can easily have 2 kids. I'm going to flap them up just to show you how they look like when they're all up. I've got a nice little lamp and a nice little flower, like to make it look cozy and pretty. I've got my whiteboard where I write down the list of things I need the kids to do, anything that they need to remember. Sometimes it can just be, a happy note, or just a reminder to stay on task. Or they can list down the things they need to do. So I have multiple boards like that, but I just keep one over here. These are books, my books mainly, books that I'm working on. If I'm developing a course or a module or something, I put my stuff over here. And this is this board that I use for Suleiman, which I used during Ramadan. I use his anchor sheets over here, and I just plop them up here. And he's able to use that to help him do his work. And like I said, they all are now able to, okay, I'm going to put that up later. They're all able to coexist. All their stationery is here. Everything they could possibly need is here. Here, I've got some books. I finished reading these books, and I just like to have them there because just looking at these books makes me happy. I think you know what that means, right? Sometimes we have things in our house that we just like to see because it makes us happy. But I've read those books. It's not just they're there for just they're strategically placed there. And something that reminds me of my kids. It's something my daughter made for me. Okay, another thing. Then I've got my printer up here, and these trolleys. I've got multiple carts like that spread out in each of my kids' rooms. So I can just move them into this room when they need to work on something which is in their cart, so they can just throw them back in the cart and wheel them back in their room. This one is in my room. Again, my books, things from Suleiman's, worksheets. I throw in there all cables, wires, staples, and punch, everything in there. Extra sheets. Okay. And that is our prayer bin. We make it a point to pray together as a family. So it's Zohar, Asr, well, not Zohar, it's, well, yes, Zohar as well. Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, we pray together. So a bin is there in each room. And specifically in the room that we're sharing together, we're always running into prayer time. So we make sure there are multiple prayer mats in there for all of us to grab one and pray. And this is my little prayer mat I got made. If you can see how padded it is, it's a simple one. It's a simple mat you can just pray on, but it's extremely padded. I love it. And sometimes um, the kids can actually just sit on it if they want. And another useful tool that I have is that I do allow the children to move around. So if they want to work on a different workstation, or if they just want to sit on the ground and work, I have one of these as well. These tools. Yeah, that's what they look like. And just plop a cushion in there and they can work sitting down on the floor. So yeah, and I've got a printer over there as well. So everything the children need is here in this space. They don't need to get out. I also, and look at these cute little knickknacks. I think you might want to see that. That one. And then I've got my essential oil as well. Okay, that's peppermint. It really helps wake them up. It's really, really useful. It just instantly calms them down. And then sometimes we play games and we use these as timers. So yeah, I keep all these interesting knickknacks over here. Everything I could possibly need. Oh yeah, and those are my chairs. When the kids are done, they fold them up and they just pin them on the wall. It looks great. It looks neat. I love the way they look. The color clashes with the white walls. But yeah, that's what my workspace looks like. Yeah. Hope this video helped. Hope you were able to get some ideas and you were able to get some inspiration on how you can do your space up, because it's very important, number one, to make sure that your space that you use for your children is well lit, is comfortable, it's airy, it has everything you need accommodated for everything that you could possibly need for your child, even for snacks. Throw it into a glass jar and keep it in that room so that your children are munching on something healthy, ideally while they are eating, because chewing actually does help in improving concentration and focus. So make sure you have space for that. Make sure you have enough of these wheel carts. I'm going to list these things down as well as I talk. You have these carts on wheels that you can move around even in your kids' room. So if it's something that cannot be put in your room, it can be in their kids' room and they can just wheel it in when they're working. A major tip: when you are working with your child, try to make sure you don't leave the room or you don't have your child leaving the room, because kids and us, we get distracted. The minute we're out of the room, we get distracted into doing other things. And before you know it, you're somewhere else doing something else and your kids are distracted because you're not there and they're doing their own thing. So make sure you're in the room. Make sure whatever you need to take care of is taken care of before you sit in this room that you have designated for work. Make sure it's all done. If not, bring that work with you. If you can, bring that work with you in the room that you're sharing with your kids. Hope this helped. Do let me know what you think. I'm Farah Danish, your autism family coach. Take care.